So I'd like to share something with you that in this discourse, I guess, in this back and forth with one of the YouTube subscribers. I don't know if he's a subscriber, but anyway, one of the YouTube screen namers. Um, he goes by Jersey Bagel Snob. And I didn't realize he's a bit more clever minded than I thought. But he turned me on to this particular warning coming out of LG Chem, and I just want to share it with you. And then I'm going to turn to the FDA because they have something actually pending in regards to battery standards. So this is out of lgchem.com, warning /warning product. And this is in regards to that case that I just did in regards to LG Chem sued battery explosion video. So it says LG Chem's batteries are not authorized, approved, or intended for sale or use by individual consumers as original or replacement power sources in these devices. Likewise, LG Chem has not authorized the use of its meaning lithium-ion cells by manufacturers of e-cigarettes or vape products that incorporate replaceable, rechargeable Li-ion cells. Has not authorized any retailer or distributor, like in that particular court case, to market and sell its individual cells for use in e-cigarettes. So this pretty much, like it says, are not intended for sale to or use by consumers. And they actually have it here where you can actually email them. You have questions and comments about unauthorized distribution of these products may be directed to. So this pretty much, I mean, I'm sure this warning has been around for some time, at least before the court case was filed. That's all that matters, as long as it was. This warning's been around since then, and I'm sure it was. This really lets LG Chem off the hook. So then it falls on to the Cleveland vape distribution company. But there's mitigating circumstances in here as well. So what the lawsuit is basically saying, as far as LG Chem is concerned, they sued LG Chem because it was a defective battery. But because LG Chem says that you shouldn't be selling these particular products to consumers for vaping devices, then it tends to let the LG Chem off the hook for the defective product. Now, as far as Cleveland vape distribution, there may be mitigating circumstances, probably are, because the user, Harb Nader, who's the plaintiff, he probably misused that battery. He probably had it in his pocket without a case, probably with keys or coins in that pocket, which shorted out the battery. In fact, let me share that with you, because I didn't really share that when I did the video. I showed you, but I didn't specifically speak to that one area of that complaint. Let me just pause this and bring that up. So as you can see, it's that particular case is Nader Harb. I keep on saying Harb Nader, but actually his first name's Nader, his last name's Harb. It's versus LG Chem and Cleveland vape distribution at both these places. Let me pause this and find this one area. So in this one area, I spoke to this subject LG HG2 battery manufacturer fabricated without a positive temperature coefficient thermistor. So I spoke to that already, but what I didn't hone in on in that other video was to prevent rapid discharge when short-circuited. So apparently this battery, along with many other problems with it probably, but the key is it's short-circuited. And when you have a battery in your pocket that's not inside of a case, plastic case, and you have keys and coins and things in there, then it can very well short circuit. In fact, that's what it does. And it's a hard, I can't remember how that goes anymore. It's a hard, there's a soft one in the, soft is when it's just warms up, and, that's when you need to take that battery out of like a 2-mech mod and set it aside, let it, cool down a little bit. Then you have the hard short. I'm going to call it, that's it, the hard short. So they have the hard short, which is actually when it actually has a thermal runaway. And, but it was interesting. So it says, without a positive temperature coefficient thermistor or similar device to prevent rapid discharge when short-circuited. So how was it short-circuited? Probably was in his pocket with keys and coins and things of that nature, and it short-circuited this. Now, so the point is part of the responsibility, if not maybe possibly even all of the responsibility, may very well fall on the plaintiff's side, and therefore this case would be dismissed before it even sees a trial, but let alone settlement. And let me pause this and go into something here real quick. Hopefully this guy doesn't mind me, or gal doesn't mind me putting his name up there. But I mean, in this particular instance, he makes a lot of very good points, and that he pointed out to me. So I like to share what Jersey Bagel Snob actually wrote. So it says, LG Chem cells are not intended for sale to or use by consumers. They are only intended for sale to and used by skilled manufacturers for products that incorporates necessary safety systems designed to protect, and et cetera, et cetera. And that mainly comes from LG's website. LG never sells, but this is the point that I mainly want to speak to here, which makes a very good point. Anyway, LG never sells to a distributor. LG sells batteries to DeWalt to make their newest power cell, which they put thermistors in. They finished the run of production, and they have X amount of A-bin, B-bin, C-bin batteries without thermistors. They are then sold from DeWalt to different wholesalers throughout the world, specifically China. So this distributor in Cleveland is up a creek without a paddle. So it has, in other words, these thermistors are supposed to protect the battery. And I'm going to show you in a moment with the Food and Drug Administration, they don't have these standards in place. If FDA had a standard in place, they would require these thermistors to actually be inside of that particular battery. So what's going on here, according to Jersey Bagel Snob, and there's no reason to doubt what he's saying, because what he supplied in the comment section has been very good, and that is, so there's LG never sells to a distributor. They sell their batteries to DeWalt. And then they finish the run of production, and then they have X amount of A-bins, B-bin, and C-bin batteries. I remember Pegasus Vapor Academy used to always talk about A bin, B bin, C bin batteries. And then somehow or another they make it to, like he says, specifically in China, they make it through to other different wholesalers that LG Chem never intended for these batteries to go to. And then eventually they go into the US markets and they wind up at this Cleveland vape distribution company. So it was very interesting. So it definitely appears, I'm going to say probably LG Chem is off the hook on this. Probably. I'm going to say like 90% sure that they're off the hook. As far as Cleveland vape distribution, that comes down to mainly, it wasn't necessarily intentional that Cleveland vape distribution, as far as the tort claim, intentional tort claim is concerned, that they sold this one battery to hurt this particular person. And the other mitigating circumstances is that it could be user fault. It probably is user fault. Because like it said in that particular case, the complaint itself, that it was a short circuit without this particular or damaged a thermistor and a positive temperature coefficient thermistor. I'm going to say probably it's more user fault than anything else, but that'll come out eventually in the court paper. So anyway, let's take a look at what's going on with the FDA. So this comes out of the Office of Information Regulatory Affairs, Office of Management and Budget. And this was actually put in there in the fall of 2018. This was under former FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb. The RIN number is 0910-AH90. It's coming out of the United States Health and Human Service Department, FDA. And the title is Testing Standards for Batteries and Battery Management Systems in Electronic Nicotine Delivery Systems. Let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger. It's going to go off the page, but you can at least see it, and I'll just sort of scroll back and forth on it. So it says, this rule would propose to establish a product standard to require testing standards for batteries used in electronic nicotine delivery systems, ENDS, and require design protections, including a battery management system for ENDS using batteries and protective housing for replaceable batteries. This product standard would protect the safety of users of battery-powered tobacco products and will help to streamline the FDA pre-market review process, ultimately reducing the burden on both manufacturers and the agency. The proposed rule would be applicable to tobacco products that include a non-user replaceable battery, as well as products that include a user replaceable battery. So they're not only going to go for internal battery mods, but they're also going to go for external battery mods if they may, if they can anyway. Like it says over here, it's in the proposed rule stage, agenda stage of rulemaking, and this has not been updated at all since then. It just sits there. And that's all. There's not even any meetings at all. Usually have workshops and meetings. They had a workshop, I believe it was in April of 2018 or April of 2017. I think it was 2018. But they haven't had any meetings on this. And this is Executive Order 12866. So they're in the process of testing for standards for batteries and battery management, but right now it's not anywhere. You know, I mean, in other words, like it says, a legal deadline, none. Timetable left blank. So they have no notice proposed rulemaking. It looks like It's supposed to go into the Federal Register in September of 2019. So that's when they're going to begin this process of eventually getting to a final rule. It'll go through draft guidances. After the notice of proposed rulemaking goes into the Federal Register, then they'll go through draft guidances, they'll go through notice and comment period, and then eventually they'll issue a final rule. When that ever comes out, probably year 2020, 2021, who knows. But it is in the process of having a battery standard. But, you know, as anyone knows, the Food and Drug Administration tends to drag their feet a lot of the time. So, and this is exactly what they're doing now. In fact, if they had this battery standard in place for some time, this probably would eliminate most of our problems, especially in the media, you know, with explosions and stuff like that, outside of the fact of the whole Juul situation with the youth and all that. Because the flip side to that is explosions, and it's unsafe and things of that nature. Whereas if they had battery standards in place for some time, then we wouldn't have to be concerned about that. So this is going to take time for them to do. Maybe 2020 to get a final rule finally on it, or 2021, who knows? I don't know. Can't tell you. So I just want to share that with you. So I just want to share these documents with you. As far as, let me pause this and show you something else. And then the only other thing from the Food and Drug Administration's website is tips to help avoid vape battery explosions. But these are not standards. This is not any final rule or anything. They're just talking about it in general. Let me show you some pictures and stuff like that, and that's about it. No need to really even speak to it. This is really all they have. Like here, says store loose batteries for your vape in a case. Keep them away from metal objects. See where the mouse is at. So the FDA understands that. It says protect your vape from extreme temperatures. Don't leave it directly in the sun. Don't charge your vape overnight. Well, it depends. You place the batteries in your vape if they get damaged or wet. Yeah, that's a good idea. Don't charge your vape with a phone or tablet charger. I guess. I don't know. I never did that before. I don't know. And then how you could report to the FDA any problems and stuff like that. And then gives you all these references that you could look at. And this was current as of December 20th of 2017. So this is really all that the FDA provides you as far as battery safety. Just some information, and that's about it. But they don't have the standards in place yet. So once they have these standards in place, I think make the marketplace a lot better. As far as, I mean, there's always going to be an issue, one way or another, but at least you'll have some standards as to how to sell the battery, how to use a battery, the warning requirements, things of that nature. Anyway, I just want to share this with you. Once again, I appreciate the Jersey Bagel Snob for adding to the whole situation with the LG Chem sued battery explosion video. I appreciate him doing some research on that, refreshing my memory in a lot of ways. And I was very good of him. And I'd like to see more, because I didn't realize how he's an intelligent guy. He always came across as like this troublemaker, but he actually is an intelligent guy or gal that I never realized that before, and that was really cool of him or her to supply that information that he did or she did. I'm gonna presume it's a he. Anyway, so that's it for this, and you guys have a good one. Bye, bye.